All right, so the playoff picture is set. The regular season is over and the playoffs are among us. So here we go. And we are going to look ahead to the matchups coming up this weekend and the way the bracket plays out and how everything's going to go. So in the AFC, the Chiefs lock in the 1 seed, as we knew already. So they get the bye week. They're resting. They get to chill. They're almost a sleeper team that no one really is talking about because they've just won every single week. And sometimes it's been close and it's been ugly, but they get the job done. In the NFC, the Lions took care of business and beat down on the Vikings, forced the Vikings to have to play on the road and drop them down to the 5th seed. The Lions gained the 1 seed with that, and they get to get healthy as well and wait on their opponent after this weekend's matchup. So the playoffs will begin on Saturday. We got the Chargers playing the Texans. The Chargers are one of 2 road favorites that are 2 road teams that are favored this weekend. I'll tell you the second one in a little bit. But the Chargers favored at Houston against the Texans. This is the 5-4 matchup. And quite honestly, I also expect the Chargers to take care of business. The Texans are just banged up. No Diggs, no Tank Dell. Their offense hasn't looked the same. CJ Stroud this season hasn't been as great as he was last year. And so they seem banged up, where the Chargers seem to be a team that has been rolling, playing pretty well. And they have Jim Harbaugh, who ever since he got there, this is just a completely different team. So I expect them to take care of business. The other game that we have on Saturday is Pittsburgh at Baltimore. And Baltimore is definitely favored in this one. I'm going to make sure I get this right about when these games are, because I don't want to be wrong on that. But yeah, exactly. So Pittsburgh plays Baltimore. That's the 6-3 matchup. Baltimore is heavily favored, and they should take care of business. However, this is a divisional game, so you know how this usually goes. But it is also the playoffs, and it's time. And never really discount Mike Tomlin. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a close game, but I would be very surprised if Pittsburgh beats Baltimore. That would be crazy. And the narratives on Lamar, poor Lamar, if he loses this game, people are just going to be all over him and saying how he doesn't come through with big games and all that. So, but we shall see. I expect Baltimore to take care of business. Sunday, we got some good games. So that was Saturday. I feel like they're not the greatest playoff games, but Sunday it gets way better. So Sunday we got the Broncos at the Bills. So Denver playing at the number 2 seed Buffalo. Buffalo also heavily favored, but Denver, same thing. They got a good defense. So we'll see how they play against Buffalo. It could be a really good game. I certainly expect Buffalo to take care of business, but if they don't, that narrative would also be crazy. And then if they don't, like if one of these 2 teams loses, if Baltimore or Buffalo loses, then it gets real interesting, because for the Chiefs, they may get to avoid one of those 2 teams, and those 2 seem like the big dogs in the AFC. I mean, obviously it's Kansas City number 1, and then it's Buffalo and Baltimore. And if one of those gets knocked out before Kansas City has to play them, that's huge. So we'll see how that goes. But that's the first game on Sunday. Then the second game on Sunday is, which I was surprised it was the second game, because this seemed like it could be a pretty good football game. But Green Bay at Philadelphia. Philadelphia is favored by 4.5 last time I checked. And I'd expect Philly to take care of business. I expect Philly to take care of business the whole way till the Super Bowl. I think they're the best team in the NFC. I think they have an offense that relies on the running game, and that relies on just kind of, being that bully and controlling the clock. And I think they can do that. And if they need to pass, they also have 2 great wide receivers. And Jalen Hurts may not be the best pocket passing quarterback, but he's still a solid quarterback. So I think, and the defense is their defense. They're not bad. They're not top defense, but they're not bad. I just think that they can control the ball, especially if they go against those high-powered offenses like the Detroit, or like the Vikings, or like the Rams, or like Green Bay. So I expect Philadelphia to take care of the Packers. If they don't, that would be super exciting, because then the number 2 seed will be out of there. So then it just seems like the Lions are going to just get to the Super Bowl at that point. So we'll see how this game turns out. And then the Sunday night game, which surprised me, because it's a rookie quarterback going against Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield. So it didn't really seem like the night game to have on Sunday, but this is the way the schedule played out. So we got Washington, Jayden Daniels, rookie quarterback, first ever playoff game, playing at Tampa Bay. We'll see how this one plays out. Tampa Bay is slightly favored, but I do think it could be a close game. And we'll see how it goes. Obviously, last year, C.J. Stroud, had his run, and then he played in the playoffs and kind of, made a name for himself, but had to learn that lesson that the playoff is a different kind of game. I think they played Cleveland last year and lost. So that was, kind of that rookie moment. And Jayden Daniels, I kind of expect to have the same. I think they're both great quarterbacks, and I think Jayden Daniels could also play well like C.J. Stroud, but the team might not be just ready yet, whereas Tampa is experienced. They made a run in the playoffs, so I think they know what to expect. They haven't been playing the toughest of teams lately, and I think that they'll be ready. So I expect Tampa to win this game. And then the Monday night game is the Vikings at the Rams again, and I don't know what to expect. I'm trying to be unbiased, but most people that I see that know sports, I mean, the line leans towards the Vikings as well, but I feel like I'm fighting that, and I don't really want to pick the Vikings because I don't like what I saw from them at Detroit, and I think it could spiral down quickly. They already lost to this Rams team, so I'm not sure. My biggest concern coming off that Lions game isn't even that Darnold didn't really play well. It's the coaching. I didn't really like how there was no real adjustments during the game for how the Lions defense was attacking Darnold and the offense, and I didn't like that. So I just don't know exactly how Kevin O'Connell's going to adjust. They've already played the Rams, and now there's tape from how the Lions defense played them. So we'll see how they move forward, but I think they don't run the ball enough, in my opinion, and I just don't know that they're built for the playoffs with that kind of mindset. I mean, in this last game, I think they had 9 goal-to-goal plays, and they ran it twice out of 9 times. If you're in first, second, third and goal, like, run it sometimes in there. Like, if you can't expect your offense to get a 3 or 4 yard gain through a running play so much that you have to depend on the pass, you kind of become predictable. And I think that's kind of what the Vikings have become. And it scares me against this Rams team that is coached really well by Sean McVay and has a reliable quarterback in Matthew Stafford, who now they're getting healthy, and they have Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. So scary matchup for the Vikings. I'm not really sure. I'm not going to pick it because I'm biased. But we shall see. My Super Bowl prediction, Kansas City against the Philadelphia Eagles, and I think the Chiefs win their 3rd Super Bowl in a row. Mark it down, and hopefully I'm right. All right. Well, that does it for this episode, but I'll probably be back on to recap these games after the weekend and after Monday. Good luck, Vikings.